somewhere up in there. I like the fact that it's all open.
Looking for the mountains.
Pretty amazing.
For that wild place.
I'm up in the saddle now.
The mountains. Looking for them wild places. Yes. The casket checkers back on the scene.
Back on the scene.
Yeah. Cascade Trekkers back on the scene. This is my scene. Stupendous view. Looking south and west. Here's my zone for the night with the adventure bike. This is my last ditch effort for snow. This is June 6th. I am free from full-time work for the rest of the summer. And fact is, this is technically brown bear country. Yellowstone is probably 40 or 50 miles away. What this is, it's like the mountainous thoroughfare between Yellowstone and central northern Idaho. And this is part of the Continental Divide also. And I've got 7 nights, 8 nights maybe, to find snow and just immerse with tons of food, tons of supplies. Yeah, this is the first big outing. Yeah. Awesome warm up here. Awesome night of rest. We've had these strange large bird noises, and it was just kind of picking up again. It's like a trill. The grr, 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 grr. Just like over in here right now. But last night, what it was this kind of a huge sound of a cross between a goose, an eagle, and a raven. And so big that it just echoed through this whole area here. And it was kind of like a honking, screeching, trilling noise. Started just before dark. And I'd been walking around a little bit, and these birds had to see me. And I was making a little noise and a little movement after dark, and I think it upset them. They might have a nest back there, but I'm going to try to imitate the noise. Something like that, but huge and loud. And I've experienced it twice before up in the mountains, though the noise that this bird makes resembles like a waterfowl noise. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna pack up and relocate, try to get whatever little bit of snow I can, which I highly doubt. And the only inconvenience with that is taking these skis on this motorcycle. But it's what it is. Stopped here to attach the camera to the helmet because I've been driving through these luscious flower-strewn meadows, and the scent coming from these thousands of flowers is just amazing. Up higher near the pass they were drying out. Down here they're pretty vibrant.
Alright, here we've got the highest peaks in this Centennial range. Hardly any snow up there. Well, I'm just looking to get back somewhere up in there. I like the fact that it's all open. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm back on the forest road. I think it's going to take me somewhere where I need to be, and I'll also need to be looking for some water. Some nice big trees back here. Alright, this is the cutoff road for Taylor Creek, and this one looks like it gets pretty nasty when it's wet. Alright, I took a side route here to stock up on water. I'm not going this way, but I am going to get water. And the road's getting a little rough. Yeah. Surprised to get back this far. And there's the growing concern that this is brown bear habitat. Alright, water up. Here's the gate. Just up from getting the water. My only other choice is to follow that lower road and see where that goes. Might even reconnect with this. Alright, that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright. I've not traveled much further, if at all, from the last filming, which was with the GoPro on the helmet. The bike is parked here. The tent is here. It's going to be an overnighter. I'm working on getting rid of junk food. And this was a nice combination to end up with. We've got pizza flavored panino. It's cheese wrapped with salami. And then Cheetos cheese pizza flavored puffs. Okay, so right now is the first time I will ever try it. And you have to eat a whole one. You can't take a bite and save the next part for later. Now, just a tiny bit more flavor than the regular Cheetos. I can't describe anything about it that resembles pizza. When I saw the package, I was thinking, oh, maybe there's like spaghetti sauce flavor on there. Okay. Couple that with these Oh man, these paninos are way past due. Sitting in the sun and on the motorcycle for 2 days. Pizza flavored panino, pizza flavored Cheeto puffs. Let's do this. That's the zone. And another ill-prepared bear country adventure. Lots of food. No real storage container. One other weird thing is I realized I'm on a cougar thoroughfare. I'm going to show you something down here. Most likely an elk leg, rib cage over here. There's another leg in the road. The kill zone in this spring. My camp is up here. Coming up from the spring, the jaws, and still flies buzzing around it. Okay, so right through here, I have to imagine is the thoroughfare. Alright, I walked through here once, but before I did, I noticed some of these plants pressed down in here. That might have been me. But right here is a bunch of pieces of the animal fur. And this is, you can almost see a root through here, like a faint trail. This is not from elk or deer. There are no hoof prints here. And so this is like the direct line to the kill zone. And here's my stuff. It's how it happens. It's how, you know, I find these things out. And it's good to know. You know, this is like 20 yards, 25 yards from my tent. It's morning time. And just a relaxing start here to the day. I spent quite a bit of time switching gear back and forth to lighten the pack weight. It's not so bad. Wearing knee braces, having these on my belt and in my pocket for the bears. I'm carrying these to keep the weight off the bag and my back. Here, just a little trepidation with the food. It's gonna be right here, and this is like triple, quadruple, quintuplet bagged food in here, with one open bag of Takis, which I don't really like, and I should chuck them, but I don't know if that would make things worse. Okay, so this is left open in case a big guy comes and wants to grab it and not rip the bike apart and the bags apart. No food over here, extra clothes, water, etc. I've got garbage here, accessible if that's what they smell and want, to keep them away from this. And that's the morning story. We're hiking up this road. I think it's 4 miles. It's all following the creek canyon here, and hopefully I'll get up to some open slopes, maybe snow. 2 nights.
at least up there. Here's the creek, Taylor Creek, and this is where this bottom road is gated, maybe 100 yards or more. I'm glad about the water, but I am very hesitant now to be on the lookout for animals close to this water. And it's about 5 miles, I think, to where I want to be. It's pretty thick in here, and now I realize this is prime moose habitat, and I am just almost singing back here to make my presence known. Got a good route to follow, well worn, with horse traffic using it, most likely hunters. These are big ones, either moose or buck elk, and no bear tracks or bear signs or cat signs, just elk and now maybe moose. Alright, here's some inspiration. And the snow on that left shoulder is what I'm looking at. And it even looks like there's a road going up to the saddle, which most likely this old closed road leads to that, my guess is.
Yeah, here's the first creek crossing. Man, this is like the best decision I've made in months to come up this trail, to come up this way. You know, even if I don't get that snow with my skis, you know, I'm gonna have an adventure. There's easily 5 days worth of food in that bag. My clothes are gonna need cleaning, but you know I can do that.
Real nice meadow, super place to just sit and listen to the creek. I took a snack break, and this trail has been pretty amazing, other than just a little spooky for big animals. Here's the second cat sign I've seen, and this one is real fresh. Not all that big, but big enough. There it is. Still far away, and that top slope looks good for me. Starting to feel it, and I'm looking at this spot here for a possible tent location, completely shaded the rest of the day. What I remembered is I could wash a couple pieces of clothing, which would be nice to get that done. I still just don't know what kind of spots I'll have, but you know, here's the thing. This trail was once a road, and if it's wide enough for a road, then it's wide enough for a tent. And I still got a good flow of water, so I'm gonna keep pushing. We've got a game changer. This fork is completely dry, at least right here, and it looks like it's been dry a while. It's not a good sign. Dang, man. Yep, like I said earlier, there's a main heavy fork over here. Now, the only other thing is that there might be springs near the beginning and possible snow melt coming down, but this might be a deciding point, definitely, to stop, camp, and head out in the morning.
Well, I guess I'm stymied with the lack of water going up this draw that the road follows. The map doesn't show any springs. The only hope is that some of the snow is melting down those gorges and draining close to where the road or trail is. I don't know. Where I'm at right now is I can't load up with water and keep going. It's just too much for me right now, and I'm just gonna call it. Set the tent right in here. Decide what to do about that tomorrow. Tough call, man. Tough. And what's even more frustrating is today is so far the clearest day with no threat of rain, and no doubt it's coming over the next few days. Good choice. I'm not at all in shape for this right now. And the pack really wasn't heavy. The skis just were cumbersome, having to hold them like a rifle or something, switching arms, switching hands. I got a cramp in my chest. And a couple things about this drainage. First is there's got to be water somewhere along that dried creek bed, okay? Standing, flowing, whatever. Okay, so there's that. The other thing, which I don't think there's enough snow to make it happen, but I've been in places with these dried creek beds, and all of a sudden, after a hot day, they're flowing from the snow melt. Okay, and on the other hand, if it overcasts, it'll stop. So I was looking for some place to hang the backpack, like a broken branch on the side of a tree. And I'm looking at this one, and I see right there, there's a string. So I thought it was, left here for someone to use to hang their food away from the bear. And then I look and I follow it up and I follow it up. There's a bucket up there. Yeah, right there. And someone's got a stash up there.
And curiosity's killing this cat. But there's not enough string to lower it down and pull it back up. This is all there is. So I have to admit, I have a knack for finding stashes. It just might be horse food or something. Like a bucket of oats. Wow. What a warm-up. I got it early on through these trees, and it's hitting hard now. Got everything dried out. Well, we're gonna push ahead here. Try to get higher up. Hopefully find some water. Starting out with 2 liters. It's gonna get me to a point where I'll decide if I want to keep going or turn around. I'm heading up this dry canyon. Easy going. And here's my first indication of a bear track. It's right here. You see the toe prints in the pad, and what I think is it's a double placement, front and back. But that's a bear track from just after the last rain here, and what really drew my attention to it was the pad. Alright, it kind of resembles a human footprint almost, like this, but then those toe prints really stuck out. And so it's a good sized bear. Yeah, there's bears back here. First sign. And so I'll be on the lookout, making noise. And here's the first kind of gully draw going up to the right, and that was dry. Pretty fantastic back here. A great adventure, however things go. Wow, just like that, I'm near the bottom of these slopes. Another 100 yards. And hopefully I'll start climbing soon. We've got just horrible mosquitoes, and it's been really nice not to have that long sleeve hooded shirt on. I almost put it on just a bit ago. Alright, and soon we'll have some answers about a water supply. No animals, no four-legged elk, deer, or other big uns. Just birds so far. Yeah, the route took kind of a hairpin turn to the left, and now we're seeing patches of snow. There's some old snowmobile tracks and some open slopes. I just got to get out of this mosquito land. This is a miracle. There's 50 more yards and I found this. And logic would dictate now to fill up another liter. Alright, so I've got a fresh walking 1 liter. I just polished it off a half liter. And we'll fill this one up to have 2 liters going up from here. It's always smart when you are in a dry locale to drink up at the source here, because I was dehydrated last night. It's just, I don't know, I just didn't want to do much. Alright, so we're gonna hit this trail and get up there. Just around the corner, we've got water flowing in the creek. So, hopefully, where the road crosses up higher, there'll be water flowing, and it just might be my water source for the next day or so. Nearly up there. Happy to be here for sure. Alright, the road doesn't go this way. It goes this way. And I'm not sure what it does over here. I was looking at these trees here to camp, and there's I think it's a hiking trail that comes across here. We got water flowing down here, and I don't think there's any right in here, but there's probably some up higher. And the clouds are building. It's going to happen here the next few days to the extent where it's a 60% chance of rain, I think by Wednesday. And here's a trickle here, which just almost makes me think about setting up a camp here, with the thought of having some shelter from these possible storms coming, instead of right on the cusp up there. Yeah, this is looking more reasonable. I made it up to this cusp of trees. It's a bit slanted. It may or may not work, but I definitely need a break, and the mosquitoes are hounding me still. There's elk signs, deer signs, goat signs, I don't know, but they're sleeping up here. Over here, I've got a view of this area, and there's the road cutting right across there. I'm pretty sure there's water draining there. It might be the thing to do to get over there, close to the water. This slope just about destroyed me. Gotta get somewhere away from these mosquitoes. It's nasty. This place has been the worst place for mosquitoes so far. I don't know if it's the trees or the fact that the elk were sleeping here. It's a dead end. I don't want to stay here. I guess I'm gonna have to push up this way to these trees just for a view of the other side, or whatever's higher up. I don't know. I'm gonna take some pictures and some film of this direction here. Alright, there's the snow that I saw from far away. It's too steep to ski on. Maybe there, but you wouldn't get much. my hopes are is that there are snow patches on the other side, being the north-facing side. Anyway, it's cool to be here. Now here, let me see, right there is water, running water draining out of that storm pipe. And there's a road going across there, but it's not marked on my map. And it goes really far across the side of this slope, but we don't know where to. Okay, there's just going to be one more push up to these trees over here, hopefully to some snow. I have to get up there for the views, whatever snow there is on the other side. At this point, I'll have to get to some snow for some water. I'm done going back down and then back up. And along the very top on this side, I see a swath traversing there. And I think I can see something over here, which just might be the Continental Divide trail. Anyway, I needed a pit stop. I ate an apple. It was really hard coming up that slope. And after killing about 40 mosquitoes, I'm ready to move on. I'm about done. Here's a road. It's the one that traverses across this. And I don't know where it goes. Maybe there were some mines up here. I came up this, it was just brutal. Yeah. We're looking at these trees, and also here's a split in the road just above me going this way. I gotta get to the crest, and I gotta find some snow. I'm ready for camp. I'm ready to start melting snow, and it might just be over this way. And there is a draw which just might have some running water, and far off in the distance was my first thought, but I couldn't see that snow from the other side. And there's some real nice snow patches over there, gentle, and they don't look steep. I'll have to look at the map and see where it is. Here's a big old mine, open mine, I guess, and this whole upper canyon here was all just mined. That's what all the roads are for. Come around the bend here of the road, and a miracle for me now, there's flowing water melting from the snow here, and I'll probably camp in these trees here. Alright, I'm going to set up a tent just in the shade of these trees here for the setting sun. My draining water is over here, and I come around the corner and I see this big mud patch, and I say to myself, well, this is a good place to look for animal signs. And here's the one I'm looking for. It's a big bear track. Not that old. Yeah, it's right here. And then I see another. Basically, you kind of look for the toe prints. Kind of see a claw mark here. This one looks fairly large. That one is really, really large also. So I guess I'll have to keep my radar on. Man.
Keep thinking about that pistol. Could have had it by now. Checking in with the good camera. Rough day hiking, climbing those slopes, carrying those skis, and the mosquitoes just kept getting worse by the minute. They're totally hovering around the tent right now. Just around the corner, I checked for some cell service because it's quite high up and I can see Island Park Lake and the Teton Mountains. Here's some advice. Don't check your phone if you're out on a great adventure. So I just got 2 depressing bits of information. Tried to relax in the tent and it was not happening. It was all like a lump right in the middle. I got my water, but also what I got over there, and I sort of could tell it was coming, is a weather forecast for thunder and lightning, rainstorms tomorrow, and Wednesday even stronger, and tailing through Thursday and Friday. Rain chances, afternoon rain chances. This Wednesday event is just gonna make all the roads nasty. I thought about riding it out and heading out afterwards. I just don't feel it right now. I'm feeling about checking on the motorcycle. You know, leaving that one pannier exposed to rain is just gonna muck things up. Anyway, that's my story. And that's why it sucks. Here it is, the next morning. Uneventful except for tons of mosquitoes. I had to take a leak just after dawn, and it was like cutting cake frosting in front of my face. We had like kind of the beginnings of a storm cell blow through at about that time. The winds were really strong. We had some sprinkles, and I'm thinking, yeah, bring on a little rain because the bugs will go away. And I've just been chilling ever since, kind of in a funk. We got sun breaks now, which it's probably 10 in the morning, maybe. But I'm going to call it. We're going to head back. A little concerned about the motorcycle with the garbage and the food there. Maybe it's the trekker out. Heading back on the road. And this is where I started climbing yesterday. And this is a big bear scat. Big enough to scare me. Anyway, yeah, we're heading out, and I just hope there's no encounters. One partial deterrent for me
hiking out is having these skis on my back just as sort of a, you know, something to frighten any bear that sees me. Plus I got my sticks for you know, if it lunges at me, horn, air spray, pepper spray, and then a punch knife. Yeah, back with the bike. Everything looks just like I left it. That's good. Getting hot, man. And I see these thunderheads. I thought the storm passed, but they might just get this lightning here today. For me, 10 to 12 miles at about 4,000 foot elevation gain and loss. Nice training for the CT man.